Hi. So you finally did it. You broke down, you bought that Nook. But now you want to know how you can borrow books from your public library and transfer them to your new Nook. So I'm going to show you how. First of all, you need to go to a library that participates in ebooks and lending them out. And for this information, you need to make sure that they use the Overdrive system to do that. So I am going to go to my local St. Charles City County Library, and I am going to click on Find Materials, and then I'm going to look at Download eBooks and Audiobooks. Now, I don't care about audiobooks right now. I'm going to just deal with ebooks, so I'm going to click on ebooks, and this is going to take me to a page that I can choose what ebook I'd like to check out. Now, at this point, you can download some software. You need two kinds of software in order for this to work. One is the Overdrive Media Console software, and the second one is the Adobe Digital Edition software. If you choose not to download it now, you will have the opportunity to do it when you check out your book. But I'm going to go ahead and do it now just so that I don't have to worry about it later. So in order to get the Overdrive, I'm going to click on Overdrive. I'm going to choose my platform. And just so you know, you need to have it on a computer in order to transfer it to a device. Where it talks about mobile, that's some of the devices that you can download software from to play on after you've transferred it from your computer. So I could go to download now, but I already have it on my computer, so I am going to skip that. But you just need to follow the prompts, and that's a very easy setup. So the other piece of software that I need to get is the Adobe Digital Editions. So I'm going to click on here, and I will go to the Adobe page, and I'm going to go download now, and I'm going to hit launch. And there it is. So at this point, I can go back and I can go to my library page, and I am going to choose a book to download. So I am going to go with fiction, and I think that I'll go with a teen book. So I get to this area, and there's 532 different books that are in this catalog, and I can look for them by title, creator, when it was released, etc. I could also scroll through and click on alphabetically, like the title or the author, but that takes a little bit of time. So I want a book by Sarah Dessen, so I'm going to put in Dessen, and I'm going to say that's the creator, that's their other word for author. And even though I chose ebook fiction, it's going to show me everything by her. But it's still only 13 things to look through, and for me, it works simpler. So I'm going to look at the first one, and I'm going to see, oh, it's an audiobook. So I don't want that. The next one is an ebook, but there's 0 copies available. It says place a reserve, which I could do, and then the library will let me know when it's available for download. But I want something I can read now. So I'm going to keep going. There's another audiobook. Here's another ebook with no copies available. Here is another audiobook and another ebook. But here we go, Lock and Key. I haven't read that one yet. And that one is an ebook, and there's one available. So I'm going to add it to the cart. If I was browsing several books and trying to decide between some, I might add them to my wish list and then check them out by adding them to my e-cart after I decided which ones I wanted. But I know I want this, so I'm going straight to my e-cart. I want to check it out and get it done. So I look here, and I see that I have 2 books in here. One is Nightfall, and one is Lock and Key. You know, I've decided that I really don't want Nightfall, so I'm going to remove it. And then I've still got Lock and Key on here. I'm going to proceed to the checkout. And then it's going to ask me for my login information. And that is going to be for my library card number. So I'm going to go ahead and put in that information, and I'm going to hit log in, and this next screen will load, and this is my checkout screen. I can choose how long of a lending period I'd like, 7 days or 14 days. The only reason, you have to know you're only allowed to have 10 books out at a time, and you cannot return them early. So if you think that you might be wanting more books during that time, you might want to go with the 7 days so that books get checked back in automatically. I don't have very many books out, if any, right now, so I'm going to go with the 14-day. And because it says I have 0 out, that means I have 9 more, so I'm going to go ahead and confirm my checkout. This comes up to this last page, and if I had not downloaded the software earlier that I needed, the Overdrive or the Adobe Digital Media, it again gives me an option to do that. So I'm going to download it. It says I'm going to open it with, and the default is Adobe Digital Editions. And I'm going to look, my Adobe Digital Editions will open. My lock and key comes open, and it automatically opens, and if I wanted to, I could read it right here on my screen. But I want to read it on my Nook. I'm actually going to hook the Nook up using the USB cord. I'm going to turn it on, and then I'm going to plug in the USB, and the computer hopefully will recognize it, and hopefully it will show up on the side here. Now it's not showing up for me, and this happens sometimes, and if that is the case, you just need to try unhooking the USB and rehooking it up. So I'm going to do that right now, and we can cross our fingers and hope that it shows up. And there it is. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it. Okay, so now that I have transferred my ebook to my Nook, it is time to disconnect my USB from the computer. So in order to do that, I'm going to go down to the bottom toolbar. I'm going to look for my Safely Remove Hardware icon. I'm going to click on it. It's going to let me safely remove it, and then I can remove the USB. This is your Nook homepage, and on it are the bookshelves of the books that you have purchased. Now this gets a little bit confusing for people, because when you look for your ebook that you just downloaded, in our case Lock and Key, you don't see it on these shelves. But what you need to do when you download a book from the public library using Overdrive is you need to go to the My Files section and click on it. When you click on it, another screen will open, and it will have a picture of a folder, and it will say My Files. You're going to click on that folder, and there you'll see the titles of the ebooks that you have downloaded using Overdrive. And there you go. You click on that, and you read it just like you do any other ebook that you get from any other source. So I hope that this has been helpful, and that you feel more comfortable downloading your ebooks using Overdrive. And I just want to say happy reading.